Hi, good evening, and I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. And I do thank you for tuning in. We are definitely going to get right back into this, the Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. Now, we are in take number 54. And before I get started, I certainly hope that peace and blessings have been upon you this entire day. Now, may it go well into the evening, too. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and get into the Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. They take their fame, financial gain, political clout, and energy over to the people who continue to repress the rest of their kind. This gives them a chance to be different and special, which is what black men want to be. Negro publications like Ebony, Jet, and Chocolate Singles all promote interracial relationships with ignorant pride, as if they consider it an accomplishment. Among these black men are James Earl Jones, Bobby McFerrin, Joe Morton, Charles Barkley, Julian Bond, Mary Baraka, Kareem Jabbar, Gregory Hines, Quincy Jones, Richard Pryor, James Brown, Herbie Hancock, Berry Gordy, Earl Klugh, Al Jarreau, Herschel Walker, Melvin Van Peebles, Chubby Checker, Billy D. Williams, George Sanford Brown, Sidney Poitier, Rick James, Miles Davis, Dorian Harewood, Jack Johnson, Red Fox, Sammy Davis Jr., Jim Brown, Lionel Richie, Richard Roundtree, Lynn Swan, Billy Daniels, Clarence Thomas, Billy Lee, and unknown others. Regretfully, each new generation of blacks become progressively disassociated with each other. Selective amnesia takes over and they part with their past and consider social integration a way to pave a place for themselves in the future. The purpose of racial segregation is not based on hostility or hate. It is grounded in the principles that ensure self-preservation and love of one's own kind. White males know that social integration will dismantle the Caucasian race because black blood changes the color, features, hair, and body shape of a nationality. And if race mixing in the bedroom continues, soon the melting pot will be brimming with sewage and confusion of identity. Whenever this topic comes up, both whites and blacks profess their agreement with sexual integration as a way to mesh the races. These black women refusing to be outdone are Iman, Sade, Grace Jones, Tookie Smith, Amon, Josephine Baker, Eartha Kitt, Diana Ross, Margie Sinclair, Alfre Woodward, Lisa Bonet, Whoopi Goldberg, Diana Carroll, Lynn Whitfield, Tina Turner, Donna Summers, Donna Summer, I'll put an S on that, Ray Dawn Chong, Sherry Belafonte, Lena Horne, Pearl Bailey, Leslie Uggams or Ugams, Lorraine Hansberry, Roxy Rocker, Nell Carter, Anne Marie Johnson, Cleo Lane, Barbara McNair, Mary Wilson, LaToya Jackson, and Debbie Thomas. These two lists of black men and black women who have sexually integrated into the white race represent nearly all of our public, successful, or famous blacks. While the black public embraces their success by virtue of kinship, they themselves absolve their lifestyle of anything remotely connecting them to being African American. A mate is the closest confidant, the most trusted, the most loved, and valuable. It is difficult to imagine how these black men and women have hypnotized themselves into believing that they are happy and perfectly at ease, living with whites nearly around the clock. It is strange indeed. This trend is growing, and the people who stand for traditional values and maintenance of family culture and heritage are mocked and rejected. When Michael Jackson appears in public with a female, it is with Elizabeth Taylor. Brooke Shields, Sophia Loren, or Madonna. Michael is a prime example of unidentifying himself with his blackness. He is an aging teeny bopper now approaching middle age. He continues to don his bogus wardrobe, cover girl made up face, and slick black jerry curl. Blacks know little of Jackson's real personality, but there is no doubt that he has no idea who he is or that he is black. When questioned, these race-mixing black men claim that they just fell in love and that there's no difference in loving a white woman than a black one. Love is the most confusing word in the black dialect. Love is not self-propelled. It is not an uncontrollable disease of attraction which one has no power over. Love is a decision. It is a choice. Because the black man has such a low opinion of himself and does not consider himself or anything resembling him as worthy, they just want to escape their heritage. They think the solution is to marry up with whites, deliver his heart, soul, and attention over to them and pretend that they are just like them with no connections to the roots. Some even try to extend a kind of fractured sense of their blackness into their white relationships by hanging black art in their homes, attending black political conferences, or acknowledging support for Martin Luther King Jr. There is no recognizable list of white males who become rich and successful and then reach back and marry a black woman. It doesn't happen, and it's not supposed to. The black man's abnormal curiosity about sex with white women makes him think he is overcoming the final racial taboo. And it also keeps him from the racial harmony he hypocritically says he desires. Sexual integration is just another trick the black man is playing on himself because he thinks that intermarriage will solve the problems of racism. Just like he thought eating at their lunch counters, going to school with them, or working next to them, or living next door would. They all failed too. Michael Jackson is the most prominent black man who disavows himself from other black people. Michael knows that he wouldn't last 10 minutes among the brothers if he showed up in that prissy looking gear he wears, with his white socks and eyeliner makeup. This black man is so confused about who he is that he has gone through the surgical torture of having skin peelings and pigment bleaching done so as to scrape off his black-skinned cocoon and emerge as a white butterfly. He used to have a black-shaped nose until he got enough money to have it chiseled down to a beak-like point. Michael doesn't appear on talk shows, does not attend black events unless they are frequented and sponsored by whites, and has never been seen in public hosting a black woman since his rise to mega stardom. Currently, he has a new flashy video out where he prances around flinging his hair and twirling in circles singing something about it doesn't matter if you're black or white. Everybody in America who knows anything about Michael Jackson knows that he does not believe what he is singing about. It is difficult to conceive that a black man would go through as many changes as Jackson has undergone to give up looking black. Now believe that it doesn't matter. It matters so much to him that he now looks like an artificial mannequin, a wind-up toy. He is a very sad example of a black man whose masterful talents removed him from reality. He is afraid of his own kind. Black men who are excessively jealous, another warped category of misdevelopment, behave very badly when under the influence of the jealousy emotion. They have been known to go to many extremes to punish a woman whom they are jealous of. They unmercifully beat her, check on her whereabouts day and night, follow her around, call every hour, terrorize her, show up on her job acting a fool, embarrass her in public, shoot her, stab her, and make her life a living hell. That does complete that section for this take. The next section I have for you is sexual perversion in chapter 10. So stay tuned to Poem Praise 2. Be blessed. Peace be upon you. And I will holler at you soon. Okay? Later, y'all.